Hi, my name is Dr. Paige E. Davis. I am a senior lecturer at York St. John University. I teach a lot of the developmental psychology modules. I teach on them, and I actually teach a third year optional module called Developmental Psychopathology and Clinical Applications. Um, and I just really look into child development, and that also means parent factors. So, parents and children. Well, I got interested in breastfeeding on a personal level because in 2014, I had my first child, and it was super hard for me to feed him. I got interested in originally in the biology of everything and how amazing breast milk is. With all those oligosaccharides and all these sugars that are just they have these properties that they're like medicinal for babies and children. So I got interested that way first. And then I started looking into maybe why people breastfeed or um, reading up on just breastfeeding practices around the world, things like that. And then I came to England. I was living in America at first. And um, I had my second child. And I thought, you know what? I really need to start doing this as my own research rather than just reading about it and being interested in it because it's really close to my heart. I was able to breastfeed my oldest son for his first 3 years. And right now I'm breastfeeding my second son, and he is now 2 years and 2 months. It's really important to have the support groups for the parents and B, for the children. Treasure Chest has been great in collaborating with us because they have been giving the community in York breastfeeding support groups for years now. And they're giving something that parents can't get other places. They have a website that you can go to, they have, Facebook. Treasure Chest has just been wonderful to help York St. John, and hopefully York St. John can do Treasure Chest a service to help them with giving them the space to do these groups. So the reasons why it's important are breastfeeding support groups are one of the main reasons why people continue to breastfeed or chest feed. So it's really related to how long breastfeeding occurs. Also, if parents in hospital get the information, they're more likely to go right away. And if there's a problem with breastfeeding, it often tends to kind of exacerbate. And so the quicker you get that problem solved, the better, because you want breastfeeding to be as easy as possible, because it's not in all cases. It's not just one of those things where you go, oh well, it's natural. Um, Breastfeeding's very hard for some women and men and parents. So it's a hard thing to go through. The reason why our breastfeeding support group is important is because it's something that we want to be able to provide for York's community. So the support groups work in a way that uh, parents will come on a Tuesday, and we set up around 10, and we let parents in around 10:30. They can bring their children in addition to their infant or baby that they're feeding, or they can bring their child that they're feeding. And if you want to talk about anything to do with breastfeeding, or just have a community of people that are also breastfeeding and interested in breastfeeding, then this is the place where you would go. If you have an issue with breastfeeding, you can talk about it with peer supporters. You can talk about it with, I believe, lactation consultants will be there at some point. Um, and I will always be there, at least for a portion of each Tuesday. And it goes from 10:30 to 12. and you can come in, you can pop in for the whole time, you can come in just for a short amount of time. Yeah, that's how it works. So one of the ways that we are going to interact with the breastfeeding support group is we're going to give parents the chance to participate in research that I will be doing with students at York St. John. So we will be trying to look at what makes people want to come to a breastfeeding support group, what makes people stay at a breastfeeding support group, and what things they get out of a breastfeeding support group. And so this should help us to understand how to make the support groups better for the community. And I'll be doing other work with breastfeeding just in general, but those ones really are the main ones that we're going to look at in terms of the support group. We think it's really important to know how to make it open so people in the community come back. And we know that them coming back means that they're potentially getting a better breastfeeding relationship with their child, which means that they'll breastfeed for longer. And in terms of the statistics in England, England is the lowest, has the lowest breastfeeding rates of any developed country. So anything that we can do to show people how to breastfeed in a way that's more comfortable for them, or to get them to come to the group, we can do that for our community. So no one has to participate in my research if they don't want to. And the support group is there solely for being a support group. It's not there for the research. But if we can get some participants out of the support group being there, that's great as well. If someone's not comfortable being in a project or even being asked any questions, it's not a problem. We're not there to do that. We're there to really make sure that the community has that service. But it would be really great if people do decide that they'd like to help with our research, just solely to help other women and men and parents generally. So we do have future plans for more support to be provided. Right now, we're at the very beginning of this York St. John Parent Center, which is housed under the community center, the Community Mental Health Center. This parent center, we really plan to ask parents in the community what they need and try to provide that for them. Again, that's something that we might be asking the people at the breastfeeding support group, what else do you need? What other support do you need? It might not just be breastfeeding. It might be things like, my partner wants to learn how to play better with my child, or I need some mental health help I feel unattached to my child, or anything. It could be anything. And what we're planning to do is just grow this parent center, because it's a real need. Parents are pretty disenfranchised. They're a big group of people too that are disenfranchised. So one of my colleagues is doing some support already with shared parental leave and breastfeeding and going back to work and rights in the legal sense. So we're going to offer that support right away. We're going to try to build on that support. We're going to try to give more breastfeeding support, not just in the form of a group, but in the form of one-on-one eventually. We have a parent literacy group. We have some therapeutic sessions offered by another colleague. So all of these things are starting, and we really just want to build and be able to ask the parents what they need. And as we're building, we're going to continue to ask, what do you want? So that's everything that I can think of about the breastfeeding group. Oh, other than it's I don't think I told you where it was. It's going to be in the chapel at York St. John on a Tuesday morning, starting September 21st from 10:30 to 12. And so we hope to see everyone there that would like to talk about breastfeeding with us. And I'll be bringing my son, who's 2, and yeah, we're very excited to launch this.